Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week I checked out Scarlet, and this 2025 film was directed by Mamoru Hosoda, and I did watch the English dub of it, so I'll give you the English voice actors of Aaran, Yvette, Chris Hackney, and David Kay, among others, of course. So what is the story of Scarlet? Well, it follows this woman as she wakes up in the afterlife. And the afterlife is kind of like purgatory, and so there is just like empty kind of planes for her to explore. However, she was like a warrior princess or something, and the person who killed her father is in purgatory with her. They don't call it purgatory, but you know, that's essentially what it is. And so she goes around the afterlife looking for this guy in order to get revenge. Along the way, though, there's, you know, warriors from all different times and stuff like that. So she's fighting samurai, she's fighting pirates with guns, she's fighting knights in shining armor, and she just goes around fighting all these things. She does team up with a boy from our present time, and he is like a medic, so he has, you know, stuff to heal her with and help her out. He is a little bit kind of naive with what's going on. He doesn't think he's dead, but of course, in order to be in the afterlife, you gotta be dead. And so they team up, and he just kind of, you know, follows her around and, you know, wants to change her mind, like violence is not the way, blah, 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 blah. What will happen though? Will she seek revenge? Will she get revenge even? Well, for that, you gotta watch the movie and find out. All right, so let's discuss this movie. Well, with this one, I gotta say, I got into it, certainly. I found the world that they created to be lots of fun. After all, it's the afterlife, and I'm not like a religious person, but I enjoy seeing, you know, depictions of the afterlife, especially ones where, you know, your character is walking around. So you're following this girl as she seeks revenge in the afterlife. And I think that's a fun idea as well. And then the fact that they have warriors from all different time periods coming at her and fighting her and trying to rob her, and there's a whole situation where, you know, people are just robbing everybody and they're robbing the robbers. And so it is fun with all the warriors and how they kind of just depict them and stuff like that. And a lot of them just kind of like randomly attack our main characters too. So like every so often there will just be like a fight for absolutely no reason. Like someone will just pop out, and since it's the afterlife, they're just looking to, you know, get out of there or die or whatever it is they are seeking. So they are just fighting these guys constantly, and I kind of like that aspect of it. And what else works? I gotta say, with this one, it's an anime, and the animation part of it is really good, I gotta say. There were parts of it that look kind of like traditional 2D animation, and very rarely did it ever actually kind of seem like kind of that cell animation that they do. I'm not sure of the exact name, but I think that's might be what it's called. Kind of like the, you know, the computer generated stuff. And this one is computer generated, but I saw, you know, some release about how they didn't want to do 2D animation, but they didn't want to do like kind of Hollywood style animation. So they worked really hard to get kind of the animation style that they really wanted. And I gotta say, that was one of the more impressive things about it. Just seeing kind of the amount of detail and stuff. It looks like it's hand drawn at some points. And like I said, you very rarely kind of ever experience a moment where you're seeing it as, you know, computer stuff. And so I gotta say, the animation really does work with this one, and that's, you know, wonderful to see. I love seeing kind of the progression of anime this way, and this one is one of those top-notch animation styles out there. Also, the characters are quite fun as well. The main character is looking for revenge. I forget her name. It's probably Scarlet. She has red hair, I guess. And she is delightful to watch. Like, just her going around fighting everyone. She's got certainly skills in you know, martial arts. So she's really good and lots of fun. Like, I really enjoyed her character. The other guy, I'll probably talk to about him in the bad part, but he's fine ultimately. He starts off pretty bad, but ultimately he's fine. And then the voice acting, like the voice acting is really well done as well. The main character has a voice that suits her perfectly. And then the bad guys, like everyone's voice suits them perfectly. So they did a lot of work with it, and the characters and the characterization and the script, like the script works well with the characters as well. So the characters design, everything about them, I gotta say, I got into. Oh, and also there is like a sky dragon that goes around that kind of shoots people with lightning and stuff. I thought that was a fun character. So there's more to this story than just revenge. I think that brings me to what doesn't work with this movie. Well, I gotta say, it takes a little long for the ending to kind of wrap up, and it goes for much more of a kind of a sentimental ending as well. Like, I'm just there for the revenge, of getting revenge against this bad guy. And the sentimentalness is kind of, I wouldn't say lost on me, but certainly is not what I was looking for with this one. I enjoyed all the fighting much, much more. So the ending certainly has kind of this slow, drawn out pace to it. I would also say with this movie, the main guy, the medic, is very kind of naive at the beginning to the point of cringe. Like, he is really gung-ho about peace and love and that type of stuff, but it just doesn't fit for this world. Once he gets into kind of going along with this girl for revenge, he does sort of calm down with that type of talk, so he does become better, but just at the beginning he's quite cringe. What else can I say about this movie? I think with the rules of the afterlife are not really set in stone and kind of seem to change. Like, they should be dead, but then maybe they're not dead. Like, who knows how they got to this world. And even then with the world itself, like, who is sent to purgatory and like why people are there, versus heaven or hell. So this kind of just seems like the rules aren't tied down to any one thing. So there are certainly quite a few flaws in this one that are I think worth overlooking ultimately. So would I recommend this movie? Well, I would say sure. It is a good night's worth of watching. So I would say yeah, press play on this one. And as for a rating, well, I'm going to give it the above average score of 6. Watching it, I was thinking it was going to be 7, but then with the ending being so drawn out, I did bump it down to 6, which is still above average. So with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.